Welcome to Coach's Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi, and welcome our guest, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette sports writer, Steeler insider, one of the best draft analysts in the country, Ray Fittipaldo. Ray, are you ready for the draft?
I am. It can't get here soon enough. It feels like we've been talking about it forever. It's only been about 3 months, but it's a great year. 4 picks in the top 80, 3 in the top 50 for the Steelers. So they've got a chance to do a lot of damage here. Whether they trade up, trade down, they're in position to get some really good players, I think.
Ray, I just had Kevin Colbert on a few weeks ago. Of course, this is a new regime in the draft. Omar Khan, of course, being helped by Andy Reidel, came over from the Eagles, but everyone seems to leave Mike Tomlin out of the mix, and I know he has his imprint on this draft. So the question is, will he have the same dynamics with these two guys that he had with Kevin Colbert?
Yeah, I think so. If you watched the pro day circuit, it was Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan, just the way it was Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin for all those years. So they kind of picked up where Kevin and Mike left off. Now, there are some different dynamics. You know, obviously, Omar came up as a salary cap guy, just started getting into the personnel side of things, a few years ago. And that's why he brought in Andy Weidel. Andy Weidel is going to set the draft board. And I think they're also laying the foundation there between Andy and Mike. Those two have to have a very good working relationship as well. So Mike Tomlin has had a big influence on the draft for years now. And I think that will continue under this new regime as well.
Hey, Ray, the Steelers signed about 11 free agents, around $40 million, 3 offensive linemen, a couple linebackers, defensive backs, wide receivers. How do you think this will impact on their draft?
Well, as Mike Tomlin said yesterday, they don't have any glaring needs going into this draft. And if you look at what's happened the last couple of years, you couldn't make that argument. Like everyone knew last year, the Steelers were in the market for a quarterback. And even the previous year, when Najee Harris was drafted, everyone knew the Steelers needed a running back that year. So this year, it could be a corner, it could be an offensive tackle, it could be a defensive lineman. So I think, when I say they have 3 picks in the top 50, those 3 positions I just mentioned are probably their 3 biggest needs. But they don't have to force anything at number 17 when they pick in the first round. They can simply let the best player available come to them. And I think that's probably what they're going to do unless they want to trade up and target a guy they really, really like. So, yeah, it's a unique year for the Steelers having this many picks. But I go back to Kevin Colbert's first draft in 2000. He also had 4 picks in the top 80. And if you remember that class, it was very good. Plexico Burris was the number 1 pick. And they also got some other good players who were very helpful in those early teams that, got to AFC championship games before they won that Super Bowl in 2005. So this is a very big draft for Omar. I think he knows it. And, I think I think they're in position to do very well on Thursday night and Friday and Saturday too.
Hey, Ray, what are your thoughts on the quarterback situation? No one seems to talk about it. I don't think it's really settled. Get your opinion. You have a backup making $10 million and a starter making $2 million. That's very unusual in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitch Trubisky is one of the highest paid backups in the NFL, but I think the Steelers like that dynamic of having a veteran there in place who has started games in the NFL and started with guys on that offense as he did for the first month of last season. That's not going to last very long. Mr. Trubisky's in the final year of his contract. They have had some discussions about retaining him beyond this year, but I don't think it would be for the number that he's making this year. What's interesting about this draft year is they brought in 2 quarterbacks for top 30 visits. They brought in a kid from BYU and a kid from Houston as well. So, could they look at that in the 4th round? I don't know. They probably still have some other needs, but if either of those 2 guys are available in the 7th round, or should they move up into the 5th or 6th round, I think quarterback could be a position that they draft late in this draft. Mason Rudolph was not re-signed. They need a number 3, and honestly, they probably need at number 4, just to go to training camp. So you have that extra arm in training camp. So Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky aren't taking all the snaps. So I'm sure they'll add one here in the draft, whether it's a draft pick or an undrafted free agent. You will hear about a quarterback sometime Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
All right, Ray, let's get your best thoughts on who they're going to take in that first round. You know, the experts last year, Mal Kiper Jr. and Todd McShay, they make millions of dollars. Kiper was 20% on his picks in the first round, and McShay was around 17%. So there's millions of dollars out there for you to make. So let's go. Who are they going to take in that first round? Will be an offensive lineman. There are so many good ones out there, led by my favorite's Pete Skoronski of Northwestern. What's your take on this first pick?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm leaning toward an offensive tackle. I think I've kind of narrowed it down to Joey Porter Jr. or one of those offensive tackles that everyone's talking about. Peter Skoronski, as you mentioned, probably coming off the board in the top 10. He's been tied to the Bears a lot with that number 9 pick. And then you have Broderick Jones, Paris Johnson, and Darnell Wright. And I have my mock draft, my final 7-round mock draft coming out Wednesday morning. And in that one, Ed, I had them picking Darnell Wright.
He's a big one.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't think that they don't like Paris Johnson or Broderick Jones. It was just me saying, okay, if there's not a trade up, and there could be, but if there's not a trade up, who would that 4th tackle be at that point? I think Darnell Wright would probably still be available. So I'm torn. I could easily see it being Joey Porter Jr. But, the 2 things that I go back to, Andy Weidel loves to build his teams from the inside out. He wants to fortify the trenches. And then number 2, this is such a deep group of corners. I've been told they can get starters in the 2nd, even the 3rd round. There's no need to push for one in the 1st round if you have another need. So it was, kind of my thinking on that. But again, like we talked about at the top, I would not be surprised if it's a corner, an offensive tackle, or maybe even a defensive lineman.
You see Joey Porter as a shutdown corner, or is it possible he can move over to a safety? He only had 1 interception at Penn State. I don't know if that's a fair evaluation of him or not, going by that stat.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at most of the corners in this draft, a lot of people are saying, okay, he could be a safety down the road. All these guys are 6'1", 6'2", over 200 pounds. They're press man corners. I think with the exception of Christian Gonzalez, who is probably the best pure cover corner in this draft. Most of the other top 10, top 15 corners are big guys who can play press man, are good in run support, but they all have question marks too. And the question mark about Joey Porter Jr. is his production or his lack thereof. So I think that's something that all teams are grappling with. There are no perfect prospects in this draft. I mean, if you want to talk about a perfect prospect among the corners, you could probably say Gonzalez, but he's not a guy who fits the typical Steelers mold in terms of like being that big guy in run support. So I think it's just going to depend on which flavor teams want. The Steelers are always big on having tackling corners, guys who are good in run support, and I think Joey Porter certainly fits that mold.
Ray, what would the Steelers do in this draft that would surprise you?
It would be a mild surprise, but it would surprise me if they took an edge rusher in the 1st round. 2nd round or after, no, I would not be surprised. That's the one position in free agency that they really didn't address. No, it's not a huge need because you have TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, right? They're entrenched as your 2 starters for at least the next 2 seasons. They control Alex Highsmith beyond the season even if they don't come to a contract agreement with him before training camp, or I should say before the season. But they definitely need a number 3. I think they're going to target an outside linebacker fairly early in this draft, but it would surprise me if they took one at 17. And the interesting part of that is, what if all 4 offensive tackles are gone? What if the top corners they like are gone? Then if you're truly picking the best available player on the board, and let's say that's a Nolan Smith from Georgia, or let's say that's another edge rusher out there who's in that mix, a Miles Murphy from Clemson, maybe. If they have high grades on those guys, would they pass them up, or would they go ahead and pick from for a position of need? So I think edge rushers are going to be plentiful in the first 3 rounds. I think they can get their guy, but yes, it would be a mild surprise for me, at least, if they took one at 17.
Hey, Ray, great talking to you. Appreciate you taking time coming on. I look forward to get you on before the start of the season and see what you think after all these players, how they develop in camp. So thanks for joining us. Good luck rest of the year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. I'll be right back with Ellen George.
Armstrong has been a part of Butler County since 1963. We helped you get online with Zoom Internet. Our Breaking Bread program began fighting hunger in our communities. Enhanced Wi-Fi delivered coverage, security, and control of your network. Zoom Extreme brought internet speeds up to 1 gig to the community. And in 2022, Armstrong was named CableFact's Independent Operator of the Year for the 2nd time. When you support Armstrong, you're supporting your local community.
Did you know that you could get fast, reliable Zoom internet for as little as $4.95 per month with ACP? Armstrong is participating in the FCC's Affordable Connectivity Program, which helps eligible households receive a credit of up to $30 per month on their internet bill. This program will also increase and improve broadband infrastructure throughout the U.S., especially in rural areas. There's no need to call. Visit armstrongonewire.com/ACP or scan the QR code on your screen for more information and to apply.
I am back, joined to my right by the Swami George Abraham, to my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Let's go to Spotlight. High school track, the 58th Butler Invite, 78 schools, the girls champion, North Allegheny, no surprise there, and a boys team championship, a tie, 49 points each, North Allegheny and Slippery Rock High School.
Good job.
How about that? Now, so we have both schools in our area, and nothing against NA, but this is just a great achievement for the Slippery Rock High School track team.
One comes in a van, one comes in 3 buses.
Yeah, isn't that?
Well, that's why I said good job, Slippery Rock, because I
Yeah,
expect that.
absolutely.
I expect from North Allegheny.
Right.
That's like the Yankees winning the championship, the Pirates winning it.
Yeah.
Who am I going to say congratulations to the Yankees?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to say they should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great tribute to Slippery Rock.
That place has changed immensely. We've discussed this 100 times.
Yes,
and
how good they are.
No, yeah, they have much more. It's a bigger community, and they have athletes, girl athletes forever.
Yes, we've known that
Absolutely.
from
Yes.
track and so forth. Hey, first place winners for the boys, Kavion Gardner and Newcastle, up and coming sprinters. In the 200, it was Jacob Thompson of Mars. Gardner was second. The 400 won by Jacob Thompson of Mars. The 300 hurdles, Levi Prementine of Slippery Rock High School. He was also second in the 110. And high jump, this is one of the best high jumpers in the state of Pennsylvania. Hayden Smith, Union AC Valley. He won it with 6.5. He's done 6.8 though on the year. A javelin, Luke Kramer of Karn City. The 4x400 relay, Mars won it, led by Jacob Thompson, who came away with 3 gold medals. Great effort by him. I'm guessing he was the MVP.
It has to be the MVP.
And for the girls, 1600, Ren Kukler of North Allegheny. The 400 relay won by North Allegheny. And the triple jump, Megan Bajetta of Butler. And the javelin, Evelyn Bliss of Union AC Valley. You got 2 athletes there at a very small school combining Union AC Valley. Kudos to them. And in softball, Montauk pounded Clarion 25-10. They banged out 20 hits. Lady Warriors were led by Emma Covert, 2 home runs, 7 RBI. She had 4 hits. Alex Stewart, 4 hits, 3 RBI. Lily Staub, 3 hits, 4 RBIs. And Andy Williams, a home run, triple, and 4 RBIs. Check that. Staub had 3 RBIs. And pitcher Lexi Haynes, Seneca Valley, is she hot this year? A 5-0 no-hitter over Butler with 16 Ks. If she's not the leading strikeout pitcher in the WBL, I want to know who is. Cara Pasquale of Seneca Valley, she had 3 hits. The Lady Raiders are 9-1.
And when one set starts with a great pitcher,
Yeah.
it doesn't disappear because you don't hurt your arm in softball. Like baseball, you can go down and you can say, I can't pitch. She'll pitch
Game
every
after
game, yes.
Yeah. And she's just a sophomore, too.
Yeah, think about that.
In baseball, Seneca Valley pitcher Zachary Takich a 4-0 3-hit shutout win over Pine Richland. Creed Erdos added 3 hits, and Joseph Safar of North Catholic, he had 3 hits. In boys lacrosse, Colton Garner of Seneca Valley had 10 goals in a 21-8 win over Butler. The Raiders are 7-1. Grant Adams added 3 goals for Seneca Valley. Aiden Davis of Butler, he had 3 goals. And in volleyball, Grant Hoover, remember him from last year?
Yes.
Seneca Valley had 13 kills. The Raiders are 7-2. Max Gianeski of Butler, 14 kills. Alex Moncello of Butler, 32 assists. Butler is 7-3. PG rankings for volleyball in 2A, North Catholic is 4th, Mars is 5th, and in 3A, it's Shaler, North Allegheny, Penn Trafford, Cannon Mac, and Seneca Valley. Let's go to our stories of the week. Major League Baseball and beat 'em Bucks. The Pirates sweep the Reds. What scores? 4-3, 4-2, 2-1, 2-0, 7 straight wins. David the Bull Bednar, now 8 saves, 0.82 ERA. The Pirates are 15-7, their best start since 92. Mitch Keller, 2-0. And guys, they're on pace to have 60 wins by the All-Star break. I know it sounds crazy. That'll be good for you.
I would like that. Yes, I would. The thing about it, when do you win 4 games and score 12 runs?
The pitcher's that good, that good.
That's past good.
Yeah, but I would.
Dallas was great outing.
They've been lucky with that kind of signing for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They signed something out the scrap heap.
Yeah.
And, Hill's been good too.
Yeah.
But I will say this, that I would put right now the money into Keller. See, they need a stopper, and they're trying to sign Reynolds. I'd give the money to Keller.
I agree with you.
I'd say, wait a minute, pitching's everything.
Everything.
They need sign him.
Yeah.
Sign Keller right
stopping
now.
those losing streaks.
Yes.
As hot as Tampa was, they dropped 2 in Toronto. Whose turn was it? McClanahan.
Yeah.
Streak.
I'd sign Keller. That's so important.
Yeah.
One thing has not changed. They are just 27th in Major League Baseball attendance. Major League Baseball, however, is up 4% this year. The gold standard is over 70 million. The last time that happened was 2017. The record is 79 million in 2007. Since then, there's been a 14% decline. Last year was 64 million. Were these changes with the shot clock and the bases? Maybe they're going to hit 70 million this year.
Depends on the races, I think. Right now, if somebody pulls away and you give up,
if
we'll
you
see
didn't
what
go
happens.
to Pittsburgh the day they had 11,000, I mean, what do you want? I mean, you can't say they're no good now.
Right.
I mean, no, but they'd be good in August. Well, let's wait till August.
Let's see what they draw against the Dodgers.
I bet they draw.
But my guess is this: you watch them.
Yeah.
You watch. Did you guys go?
No.
They're normal people. That's all.
Well,
I do go, but normal people don't go.
To me, it depends on the weather.
But I'm saying people don't
Yeah.
go.
No.
George's asking about fans. Pittsburgh fans don't go. I mean, this is the
But
way
you
it is.
remember at one time they only televised their away games, and that was 35 of them.
Yes.
Because there was that thinking in those days. You don't do your home games.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't do it.
And you know what? Now too, if they play like this, they'll get $1.5 million. Like they barely made $1 million last year.
They were under.
But once again, the fans don't trust them yet.
I agree with you there. Hey, Derek Shelton receives a contract extension. He's 156 and 249. Good move.
No, his record.
Say that record again.
I just
Say it again so they heard that.
156 and 249.
Yeah, but that's how pathetic the Pirate organization is. They're rewarding somebody that's lost 100 games 3 years in a row
Before he has a winning season.
Yes.
Hey, and on the move, the city of the A's did everything they could to build a new stadium in Oakland. Ran into roadblock after roadblock, just like the Raiders did. Sayonara, they'll be in Las Vegas.
Eddie, no public money in California for anybody. All those stadiums that they did, the guy with the Rams or whatever, it's private money. They do not publicly fund.
I agree with you there, but let me ask you this: Oakland no longer be a major city. No Raiders, no athletics.
No.
Even the basketball team left. There's nothing there.
Well, you can't have possums in the dugout and rats.
Yeah, the stadium is terrible, and the flooding and the sewer system was so bad. But they tried and worked out this deal, tried to work out that deal. Nothing worked, so there'll be the Las Vegas Athletics.
I blame the people on this one. The Oakland people. They've made the playoffs 11 years.
The city council.
No, I'm saying the fans.
The fans.
No, if you don't see, the Pirates are so bad that people don't go.
Yeah.
Oakland put a team on the field 11 years they made the playoffs.
Right.
And they still wouldn't go. So I'm leaving. So I'll get out too. I'm leaving.
Well,
If you
how
don't
But
many
the
go.
times
reason
did
is,
leave?
here's the thing. Major League Baseball said either you build a new stadium
Yeah.
or leave.
Yeah.
They had no wiggle room. And
Yeah.
that was
and
it.
you see what happens. You go to Vegas, it's a destination. They'll have a full house. You can't get a football ticket unless you go secondary market.
Well, here we go. The NFL draft, the second biggest NFL event of the year after the Super Bowl. It'll be at Union Station in Kansas City, Missouri. Round one will outdraw any other sporting event, if that's a sporting event, or drama
It is a
on
sporting
TV.
event.
On TV,
It is.
and people will just go crazy over it. The Steelers have their most picks in 30 years. First three rounds, number 17, 32, 49, and 80. Just had Ray Fittipaldo on. He's a Steeler insider. And let me say this, it is the inexact science. Here are your experts from last year. Mel Kiper Jr. and Todd McShay. What do they make, millions of dollars?
Yep.
You know what Kiper's success rate
Four
first
and
round?
5, both of them.
20%.
Yep. that's
And
right.
McShay was less than 17%.
And they
So-
first is automatic. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
They say they got 4 right. Well, the first is generally automatic.
Yeah. So I'm not proclaiming us three
Yeah.
as
it was-
draft
they-
gurus.
We are just as good as them, though.
Absolutely.
I mean-
We watch enough games.
George sent me something that was really amazing. McShay, remember, this
all
is
he
before,
does.
this is before he gave his
Yeah.
heyday. This is when he's starting up. He said, "There's no doubt that Brian Braum is way better
Not
than Aaron
close.
Rodgers."
Not close.
Now wait a minute.
Not close.
No,
He
but,
said not close.
but by saying that, he moved up 20 notches.
Yeah.
So that means we should be the guys on ESPN. No question
Oh,
about it.
my.
Well, every year, like Kiper comes up with something different. Like one year it was the hand size of quarterback. Now this year it's the arm length of offensive line. I guess Mike Webster would have never made his
Never
draft
played.
choice. His arms are too short. So the Steelers now, number 17 pick. Who will it be? An offensive lineman, a corner. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm not afraid. I'm going to say it's going to be Deontay Banks, cornerback of Maryland. I don't think Porter will be there.
It's going to be a cornerback too, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be defensive back because I'll tell you why. Because it's a strong class. So
And
when you
you're
get to
going to look at
so you get to
teams in your
17.
division.
When you get to 17,
Yeah, there's still a good
there's
one.
still good ones available.
Yeah.
See, sometimes
And that's
it's not,
with
that's
Porter
what they
being
ask.
gone, right? That's
Yeah.
the thought.
Yeah.
I'm not a Porter guy, by the way.
Okay.
Neither am I. And
I'm not a Porter guy.
I asked Fittipaldo. He had one interception at Penn State, and I asked him. I said, "Is he a cover corner? Or is he more better at safety?" And there's a possibility he could be moved to safety.
He's not a great tackler.
He's 6'2",
He's not a great
197.
tackler. No.
Okay, well,
Watch at Penn State, and he doesn't have great hands. He's a great athlete.
yeah.
So that's once again, they look at you in the scores.
And I'm not
And
sure.
Steelers
in
like
the
their
inter-
corners to be
know.
physical.
And I'm
now.
not sure in the interceptions how many they threw at him.
I saw him
That's
drop a
true,
lot.
too.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Now,
He dropped
I
a lot.
like this Banks, and of course Gonzalez from Oregon. Everyone rates him at the top of the scale. At number 32, I see the Steelers taking Darnell Wright, offensive tackle of Tennessee. He's 6'6", 335 pounds. At number 49, I like this guy. He's a sleeper to me, an edge rusher, Lucas Van Ness of Iowa. He's 6'5", 270. At number 80, here's a big sleeper for me. Here's maybe your new surprise. The Steelers have always done well with small receivers. Zach Flowers, 5'10", 180 out of Boston College.
Won't be there then. He won't.
You
be
don't
there.
think he'll be there?
No,
No,
he'll be gone.
he's pretty well
No, he'll be
thought of.
gone.
Yeah, I like him.
No, I love him. He's my favorite receiver in the draft, by the way.
Yeah, he's
my favorite
excellent.
receiver in the draft.
He's not blazing speed, but he
He has
makes
good enough
plays.
speed.
Good
He has
enough.
enough speed.
So there are 31 picks, no pick for Miami because of tampering. So number one, are we all in agreement? Carolina is going to take Bryce Young.
That's no brainer.
Gave up
Yeah.
a ton of draft picks
Yeah,
for
they're
it.
definitely going
Don't
there.
be wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They won't be wrong on that one.
Yeah.
He's my favorite quarterback in 10 years.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. There's nothing he can't do.
So,
He's just tremendous.
And Houston and the Eagles and Seattle all have 2 picks in his first round. So I'm going to go through the top 10. Houston, I see them taking Bijan Robinson, running back of Texas.
No, never take a running back in the top
no,
10.
they're
So they
Well,
won't do
I
that.
think they
They're
won't
will.
ever do
taking,
that.
they're taking Will Levis. He's the odds-on in Vegas right now.
Houston's
You
not going.
think so?
Houston's going defense.
Yeah, I mean,
You
Houston's
think they're
going-
going for a
Houston's going defense.
then
They've already-
Jalen Carter.
They've already said
they're going
no,
Jalen
no,
Carter.
they're going either Anderson or Mills, they're outside rushes from Texas Tech or Alabama, and I think it'll be Texas kick. Texas.
you
kick.
know, Levis is favorite
Yeah, I think.
in Vegas.
Yeah, I know he is over Stroud. Yeah, no question about it.
So when you say I got all the list on, you say an edge rusher is
The kid from Texas to go.
okay. I got Will Anderson and Van Ness and Miles Murphy.
Hill's
and
his name, I
Keon
think.
White.
Well, you know, Will
That's it.
Anderson, this idea. But if you're going to take him second or third. Why wait till 8 or 9 if it's a character issue? Either don't take him or take him when you
See,
want.
He's not a character.
I like
issue.
some of the
He's
other.
tremendous
I like
kid.
some of the other linebackers who are bigger than him and just as quick.
I'm not.
I like that.
I'm not an Anderson guy either.
Yeah. Okay.
That highly. They're talking about. I watched him play at Alabama. He bull rushed. I don't like it. I don't think he can bull rush.
It is.
Well,
I
look
think
at the kid
Bijan's
from
terrific, but it's too
Murphy's
soon.
6'5", 270.
Yeah,
And a great athlete. And third pick, Arizona, I have them taking Paris Johnson, offensive tackle of Ohio
They
State.
need one.
Colts, I see them taking a quarterback, C.J. Stroud of Ohio State.
They're taking the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's going to make the break. They're going to make or break them for their whole life.
You don't think they're still behind the scenes trying to get at Jackson?
What?
I think they're still behind.
But
the
might
scenes
be, maybe
trying to
George.
get at
Maybe.
Jackson.
Maybe.
And, yeah, you know, and I'm saying there's 31 picks, not pending any trades that could be made.
Oh no! It only takes one owner to stick
Yeah.
his nose in, like the guy at Washington, and say, "Take that guy because he played where my son went to school."
And
And
if-
now the guy passed away for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's all it takes is one nosy owner and old drafts.
And if he's there at number 5, I see Seattle taking Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I think that's a short.
That's
bet, too.
that's
I
for
do.
saying.
Detroit,
Seattle likes those guys are in trouble.
yeah.
They've always got made it work.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll always makes that work.
And Detroit, they just lost 2 receivers for the year for gambling.
Oh.
I'm shocked there's gambling in the NFL. But
I'm about to come across the screen every minute.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
Call
score, every
DraftKings.
call
Oh,
DraftKings.
jeez.
The best is they do a half-hour infomercial, and then underneath it says, "If you have a gambling problem, there's a chance
Yeah.
you might if you watch that."
I see Detroit taking Jordan Addison, USC, former Pitt player.
They're going to take the Ohio State kid.
You think you'll take
Smith-Njigba.
Yeah,
Njigba.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, either one.
Yeah.
And the Raiders, I see them taking Mark Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame.
I think they're on defensive backs. See, that's how strong defensive backs are.
Yeah.
They're going to get one of those good ones.
Boy, that
Okay.
guy's good for Notre Dame.
Yeah, I just
Him and the dude from
Didn't the
Utah,
Raiders- they lost
and
their
the guy
tight
from
end.
Georgia's back, right?
Yeah.
They were 3 of the best players.
didn't the Raiders lose their tight end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
so
you
that's
go.
why I'm saying
Yeah.
Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
And Atlanta, I see them taking defensive lineman Brian Breesy out of Clemson. And the Bears, I have them taking Njigba out of Ohio State. And the Eagles,
Making him, they'll be excited.
and the Eagles, since they lost their running back, Miles Sanders, I see them taking. This kid's a really good running back, doesn't get enough credit, is Sean Tucker out of Syracuse.
I think the kid from Texas is going there. That's where I think.
Yeah.
I think he's going to Philadelphia.
You know, he's-
Only man at number 2.
He's the only guy that I would take early, usually running back. I don't want to waste third, fourth. That I think Bijan Roberts is all-star.
Okay, and this kid, I've watched him from Syracuse. I don't know if you watch him that much.
Oh, he's
He
good.
is really good. He's 5'10", 210. I love that size of running backs. Short.
They aren't taking any
powerful
running backs
build.
anymore. That's out in today's world.
Yeah.
They won't take them.
At number 22, I see the Ravens, if he's available. They're going to take a wide receiver. I'm looking at Quentin Johnson, TCU, 6'4", 220.
That's what they want. That's
He's a
what
big-
they want.
big
No
guy.
question about it.
And the Bengals, the one glaring need they have, they need an edge rusher, and that's where I see them taking Miles Murphy or the kid from Iowa.
Yeah, the Van Ness kid. I think he could go there. He could.
And let me just mention this quickly in the end here. College football, Pitt transferred. You get a tight end from USC, 6'6", 250, Malcolm Epps. He's also played at Texas. He'll be playing at Pitt this year in his 6th year
Yeah.
of college
It's
football.
kind you win with. That's what
Yeah,
you win with now.
The transfer portal. Hey,
Open.
yeah,
Open.
much more to talk about. We'll have to wait till next week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you then.